Hey everybody, welcome to the Pace Studios here in Midtown Manhattan. We are very lucky today to be joined by Verite in the studio. Thank you for coming by and playing some new music for us today. You guys have a new record out, came out in June. It's called Somewhere in Between, and it was released independently, so congratulations on that. You're going to play some new songs from the record for us today?
Yeah, I am playing, the first song is Phase Me Out, which was the first single off of the album.
Great. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Watch it all play out, reactions too familiar. The way I act is similar to how I see it in my mind. Say just what you mean, but love I don't believe in. The days you spend are fleeting and passing by the time. Stand up straighter with my back against the wall. Keep me still and wondering just why we falter. Don't you wanna stay here? Or do you wanna face me out? Don't you wanna leave? Or would you rather do siphoning some reason from a dissipating line we drew. Stand up straighter with my back against the wall. Keep me still and wondering just why we falter. Don't you wanna stay here? Or do you wanna face me out? Don't you wanna leave? Or would you rather do stand up straighter with my back against the wall. Keep me still and wondering just why we falter. Don't you wanna stay here? Or do you wanna face me out? Don't you wanna leave? Or would you rather do Don't you wanna stay here? Or do you wanna face me out? Thank you.
Thank you. So we were saying before that song, the album is called Somewhere in Between. It's your full-length debut. You've had a couple of EPs up to this point.
Yes.
And I'm someone who's always really interested in titles and how they kind of get to the heart of something. So, you know, you've had a couple of smaller releases in terms of the number of songs, and now you are back with this full-length, and the title is Somewhere in Between, and I'm kind of curious, what are you in between? What does that phrase mean to you?
I mean, I'm between a lot of things. I think it's weird that was became the title of the album because it was the last song that I wrote, and all of the EPs, and now including the album, have title tracks.
Okay.
And I knew from the beginning that I wanted it to be a title track, and I kept on plugging in titles as I went and finished songs. And, you know, Death of Me was a little depressing, and Nothing was a little depressing. And so I think in the end, somewhere in between kind of encapsulated where like the album was made, and the lyric from that is somewhere between living and dying. And so just kind of where we're all at.
Where we're all at some point,
Literally
right?
all of us.
So when you start to put together a record or collection of songs, do you just write what comes to mind and then you go back and figure out which one is the title track, or do you sort of have that in your head as when you begin, you know?
It always comes at the end. I always know I want it to be a title track, but I'm not necessarily super creative at naming things, and so that's one of my least favorite things is naming a tour or naming a track. And so I try and just go for the title that is obvious and that can kind of be easily picked out.
And you find like one of them will always sort of rise to that and become the perfect thing?
Yeah, it always makes sense. And when I hear it back, I'm like, okay, I can live with this. And it makes sense.
Right. Cool. So tell us a little bit about the next song you're going to do from the record.
This song is called Saint. And I feel like this track, I was produced by Zach Nasita, and we spent hours upon hours of editing this production to kind of, you know, speaking to the title track of the album, somewhere in between. Everything's kind of lost in this sea of, you know, pop or alternative, and I've just decided I don't give a fuck which one I choose, and so I can exist in between. And so I think the elements that we incorporated are indicative of that.
Nice. It's a perfect segue.
Thank you. I'm going to take a sip of water. Maybe you're too innocent, and I'm a crack in your glass. Watch me run down under your fingers. Maybe I'm indifferent, shut down. Oh, you know me all too well, all too well. There's no not an anthem, not your hope, no not an idea. You decided was gold, 'cause I know I'm a sinner, but I could be a saint in your head. No, I don't got religion, but I'll take my hat till I did. And no, you're not a season, said to leave me in the cold, but still I caught a sickness. That time you said I was yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So somewhere in between is an independent release. You are basically doing this whole thing yourself. Yeah, you executive produced the album, you wrote the music, and it seems like whatever is happening now in terms of promotion and touring and playing is basically your direction. And, you know, we have some artists in the studio every now and again who are in the same sort of position. And what I sometimes wonder is, like, is there such a thing as too much freedom where there's so much stuff to do now? You know, there's such a sea of labels and publicists and touring and, you know, media. I mean, does it get to a point where, like, a certain number of sort of parameters or whatever would actually be comforting in a way? Or is this really the best way to do it?
It's interesting because I think, yes, parameters at some points would be comforting. I feel like every once in a while I want everyone to come around me and tell me what to do, because it is unlimited choice and control and power, which is, I mean, I think personally phenomenal. But I'm learning how to delegate, which is a completely separate issue. That being said, I don't necessarily think that's what's in store for the future. I guess, like, I look at my younger brother, who is 18 or 19, and all of him and all of his friends grew up in this generation where they can do all of the creative and all of the technology and all of the social media on their own, and it's embedded in their heads that that's just what you do. You do the business side with the creative, and you merge it together to be a creative entrepreneur. And so I guess I try to adopt that mentality whenever I feel stressed. It's like, no, this is kind of the path of the independent artist today, and I'm really lucky that I get to have a career and ownership and control of my music. And yeah, it means I spend more time than I'd like doing spreadsheets sometimes. But yeah. I actually like spreadsheets, so that's another separate issue. Yeah.
And do you feel as though this is the way forward for you long term, or is this something that could be like a chapter in your career and you move on to a more kind of, I don't know, conventional or traditional way of releasing your music?
I'm not sure. I mean, at the moment, I think it would be very difficult to give up that control that I've worked really hard to maintain. That being said, life is fluid, and so I could feel a different way next week, and so I don't want to box myself in there.
Right.
But I am, like I said, really grateful for the opportunities that I have to be able to do what I do.
Yeah, cool. So you got one more that you're going to play from somewhere in between for us today. What's that one going to be?
Yes, this is the title track, or the title track, no. This is the first song on the album. We discussed the title track, and it's called When You're Gone.
Great.
Always calling me a virgin if I prayed the way we'd listen, but your mouth can do it better than some guy who don't speak up my language, mixing words but never thinking. If you stay, you say you save me, you can take it all away. But when you leave, I'll feel the same. Hey, I don't mind you leaving when the damage is done, and I don't mind how I feel the same when you're gone. 'Cause what you lost, I don't wanna be here anymore. There's no difference here from when you're gone, I'm not crawling on my knees to keep you here. 'Cause what you lost, I don't wanna be here anymore. There's no difference here from when you're gone, I'm not crawling on my knees to keep you here. Back to New York City, where the stars don't ever see me. I can hide under the scenery of a saturated sky. You share some conjugating meaning. Watch the light drip down your face, and when you leave, I'll feel the same. Oh, I don't mind you leaving when the damage is done, and I don't mind the same when you're gone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we were saying the album is called Somewhere in Between. It came out in June. It is independently released. Where can people find a copy for themselves?
Urban Outfitters, some Barnes & Noble if you like CDs, on my online store, on tour.
And the online store is at veriteofficial.com.
Yeah.
That's right. And there's
It's
some
official.
tour dates there, which everyone should go check out. I think you're going to be in Philly on Wednesday night, right?
Yeah, Wednesday night.
And coming back to New York in September. But everyone around the world, check out veriteofficial.com so you can find out where to see her. And congratulations on the record. It
Thank
is
you.
great.
I
And
appreciate it.
have a great time on the tour. And you should come back to Paste anytime and play for us again.
I will. I kind of love it here, honestly.
Yeah, well, we'll add you to our
Cool.
collection. And then when you come back around, we'll add another one.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys.